Hey, what's up, cats and kittens? And shout out to all my cerebral lights. It's me, the Cerebral Diva, back with another episode of In the Loop. And this is going to be a sort of Whitney episode In the Loop. So really quick, you guys. So word on the street is that Nick Gordon, a.k.a. Whitney Houston's stepson, Bobby Christina's stepbrother / husband, it gets all twisted. Apparently has a new girlfriend. Now... The new girlfriend is all over Instagram bragging about how great of a guy he is. And I don't know Nick. Maybe he is a great guy, so I don't want to throw him under the bus. All I want to do is say to this young lady, I hope you prefer showers to baths. And so we're going to move on from that. So what we're really here to talk about is this Whitney Houston biopic, or this Whitney Houston documentary, called Can I Be Me? Which chronicles sort of the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs of Whitney Houston. But it's really centrally focused on Whitney's alleged bisexuality, which I don't understand why it's a big deal. If Whitney liked women, so be it. If she didn't like women, so be it. Really all I care about, whether or not she could sing, and that's pretty much it. So anyhow, even in death, it looks like people are continuing to try to exploit the Whitney brand. And it's really sad to see, because at the end of the day, the documentary shouldn't be titled Can I Be Me? It should be titled Can I Rest in Peace? Let this woman just rest. Life has been so unkind to Whitney. She's had a very tough go at life. And so finally, she's at peace, she's resting, but for whatever reason, people still feel like they want to capitalize off of her posthumously. So the documentary is really sort of dredging up these old allegations about Whitney Houston and Robin Crawford, who was her best friend / manager. And rumor has it that the two of them had this long-standing love affair, which was interrupted by Bobby Brown. And once Bobby Brown came into the picture, Robin and Bobby sort of butted heads, and the two of them parted ways, ultimately leaving Whitney Houston susceptible to drug abuse. It makes sense. You lose someone who's sort of a stabilizing force in your life, and unfortunately you begin to spiral. I can see how that could happen, but I don't know if that's true. What I do know is that Whitney has denied it. What I also know is that Robin is alive and able to tell her own story, and for whatever reason she's chosen not to do it. So whether it's out of respect for Whitney or whether it's because it's not true, Robin has not spoken out. So for that reason, I'm inclined to go with Whitney's version. So until Robin decides to make a biopic, until Robin decides to make a documentary, then it's really none of my business as far as I'm concerned. Let's focus on the music, let's focus on the struggles, and let's not exploit her bisexuality, whether it was true or not. It's just really not that big of a deal to me. I don't care about who anyone's sleeping with. It's not relevant. As long as you're not sleeping with a child or a vulnerable adult or a farm animal of some sort, it really doesn't matter to me. If it's two consenting adults, then do your thing. I don't understand why that's such a big deal to people. Secondly, another thing I want to touch on before I get out of here is this is Whitney Houston. I'm incredulous trying to figure out why a Whitney Houston documentary or why a Whitney Houston movie has not made it to the big screen. What is wrong with these Hollywood producers? No shade to NWA, Straight Outta Compton and all that good stuff. But how did NWA make it to the big screen and Whitney Houston went to Lifetime? I don't understand that for the life of me. If you compare the two demographics, Whitney was a huge international star. Huge. I mean, Whitney sold hundreds of millions of records. I mean, if you were to take a poll versus who knew NWA and who knows Whitney Houston, I guarantee you Whitney's going to come out on the top end of that. She's a huge star, even till this very day. And not only that, to me, the NWA, while the group has disbanded and people have gone their separate ways, that story is still unfolding. There could still be an NWA reunion. We don't know what's going to happen there. Because all of the players of NWA are still alive and kicking. There's a period on the end of the sentence that is Whitney Houston. So that story has already concluded. It's been told. So for me, it's wrapped with a nice, pretty bow. Whereas the NWA story, not so much. So I want to see a movie that is of the caliber that's worthy of a true diva. You know, I come from the Whitney Houston, Janet, Mariah, Madonna era. Janet's my favorite of all, by the way. So I come from that era, and so I know how big they were. You know, I remember being little, and the Bodyguard soundtrack was out, and I used to play "I Will Always Love You" on repeat, to the point that management was knocking on our unit, you know, wanting to to kick us out because people were complaining about me and me playing this song over and over and over, and until my mom took away my CD. So yes, I love Whitney, and I definitely, if you're going to film a movie about Whitney Houston, film a movie about the life and time of Whitney, involve the people who were really there, involve the people who are in control of her estate. I don't necessarily want some sanitized version of the Whitney Houston story, but I do want one that's respectful of her in life and in death. So yeah, if you guys want to check out this documentary, Can I Be Me? It's scheduled to air on Showtime sometime in August. As much as I'm talking about it, yes, I admit I will probably be tuning in to watch. What can I say? I'm a glutton for punishment, if you will. All right, you guys. So that's it for this episode of In the Loop. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Also, dislike if you choose to. It doesn't affect me anyway. I don't really care. Remember to follow me across all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I am Cerebral Diva on every single platform. Spelled just as it's spoken. There's none of that fancy stuff. No underscores, no accent marks, no hashtags, none of that. Just Cerebral Diva. Excuse me. And also, you guys, as always in closing, remember to live better, love harder, and think smarter. It is me, the Cerebral Diva, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day.